I play Steven.
Okay.
Yeah.
I created the show.
Right on.
And I'm the co-executive producer.
Okay, great. So one, okay.
Rebecca, the show is practically a musical, and it's so fantastic. Like, what is that process like of coming up with music, and how long does it take you to write songs? You have songwriters with you as well, and it's all you.
A lot of it is me. I also, my writer, Ben Levin, and also my storyboarder, Jeff Liu, and my storyboarder, Helen Jo, have helped me write some of the music for the show. I sort of just work on it on the side because there's not really time in the day. So I can sort of
Pretty good work on the side.
I can like remember like where I was trying to like because the song there's gonna be a video we played today of a song. I remember writing it in the airport when I was taking my shoes off, and I'm like I know where I was whenever because it was always something transitory like that.
Yeah, there's so much. I mean, I could feel like it could be a stage musical at some point. Have you ever thought of it?
Oh, dreamed about it.
Zach, what's the character development been like for you as Steven's voice actor? Because like where he started out in season 1 or episode 1 to where he is now, like he's done a lot of growth.
Yeah, for sure. It's really mirrored a kid growing up for me because I've grown up a lot too since I started. I was 14 when I first did the pilot. It was like 3 years ago. More. And now I'm 17, and he's grown up a lot too, and his voice has gotten deeper, his personality has grown stronger, he cares even more for his friends and stands up for them, and his powers reflect that too. He's stronger and can do more to protect them, and I've really appreciated being able to kind of grow with my character.
Ian, as a supervising director, what's been like a normal production day for you? Like, how does it feel?
Oh, man.
What is it like?
I basically kind of just try to do everything Rebecca doesn't have time for. Basically, sort of all aspects of going over pitches, of storyboards, helping sometimes when we're figuring out who's voicing which character, I do that stuff, work on the animatics and the timing of everything, and then also just sort of look at the animation when it comes in and try to make sure it's as good as possible.
Next question. Rebecca, Steven seems to be the only male gem so far. Do you get other male gems in the future, or is that female?
Steven is the only male gem. All the other gems are just gems. So if another gem chose to replicate a male form, humanoid form, they absolutely could.
We usually like split up for the cartoon scene as well as like especially the Cartoon Network program. It's talking about like over 8 years. Give me styrofoam. Program.
Last 100,000
Wait, what's this?
Like in terms of what got me ready, or the program itself?
Even the program itself. Maybe first. Maybe first. Breaking it out into like a big.
I think just a lot of freedom. We really got to try whatever it is we were passionate about. Like if we could pitch it, if we could make it make sense, what we wanted to say, it really gave us a chance to do that. Yeah, and to really do what we wanted. There was a lot of flexibility, and the show was always really personal to me because it's about my brother, and I never felt like I was being pushed in a direction that would change that. It stayed personal, and it's still really personal to me. And that was true when I made the short, and it's still really true when I'm making the show.
So I feel like the consensus is still very much involved.
Yeah.
The process and you're still continuing to stay and work with everything.
Yeah. Oh, it's all of my life.
Everyone, something for everyone. That's the thing about this show.
This is for you, Rebecca. I was just curious what the challenges were for you going from being a storyboard artist to creator of your own show.
From the show. Mom is,
How did you make that transition? Was it very difficult?
Dad, the ice king.
Yeah.
Daughters made a BMO outfit.
It's just the deep end immediately. I think being a storyboarder, I'm so glad that I was so lucky that I did it, and it helped me understand writing and the writing process really well. I think the world that opened up to me when I went from being a storyboarder to a show creator was everything else. So it's like the writing, I'm still super involved with the writing, but also there's so many other things, especially on a show like this, color and backgrounds and the actual animation, which I care so much about because I'm an animator, just the production of everything that was all new, and also working with the team. I'm sort of just running around all the time. I'm never doing one thing. And I'm never working on one episode either. I'm always working on 10, 12 of them at a time. So that's very different. When I was boarding, I was like, this is my episode right now. That's all I'm thinking about. And now it's kind of like, this one's getting pitched. We're doing music on this one. We're doing sound effects on this one. We're doing color on this one. And it all has to be good, so it's very different.
Not really, just because I changed my voice quite a bit to do Steven. I mean, it's fun to come to these types of things. I remember 2 Comic-Cons ago, we had the preview panel with Uncle Grandpa and Clarence, and that was my first time coming to the con, and I just came one day with my friend's pass and just walked around and like, wow, this is amazing. And then the next year we had our first panel, and just being able to meet the fans in this kind of environment and talk about the show with people who love it as much as I do is really awesome. That's been the biggest change.
How is this convention different from like your first one you came to?
Well, the first one I came to, I was kind of spoiled. It was San Diego. So I've been to a few other ones since. New York is really, really cool. A couple other places, but SDCC was the first one. So little pampered.
Like you're really excited about.
We have a really big panel, and we've got some exciting things planned. So there's always something fresh that keeps it interesting. So it's always fun to come back.
Yeah, now, because the property is so close and personal to you, obviously, reimaginings are something that kind of ran through Hollywood. If they ever grabbed Steven Universe and said, you know what, we want to go ahead and make a live action of this, but we want to tweak it. Why do you look at me? Would you be willing to let them mess with you maybe a bit, or are you comfortable where you are?
Do you have a pitch? It's very specific. No, I'd want to be really involved. I think, I mean, it's about my brother, and it's dedicated to my brother. I think I'm very protective of all the characters because they're all sort of related to him and my relationship with him. So in any iteration, I think it'd be really cool. There was some live action something, but I definitely would be involved in the writing. And it would be very strange to not
This is for Rebecca and Ian. There is a level of intricate detail, like on the animation side, like on just in the show in general, because you see all these people doing like fan theory videos and looking at the most like tiniest details in like the architecture of things. Like, was that purposeful from like day one, like when you do everything? Very intentional, or does it just kind of like happen?
Yeah, it's really purposeful. Actually, yeah, like early on, we sort of have this dream of like a show where you see the characters do things, and like in the background you see, oh, there's something there, but it doesn't get touched until like 10 episodes later or something. So it's fun to sort of like hide those things, and we try to take extra care to like, oh, we see something coming up in the future and make sure that we foreshadow it. One of our writers, Matt Burnett, has always said it's better for fans to feel like, I knew it, than to feel like, whoa, where'd that come from? Yeah. So we like to really make sure that the fans feel engaged.
And it was great. A lot of great flashbacks. Fantastic. It's great. Like you see the gyms when they were younger, and a lot of those flashbacks were really sweet. We can continue to see more of that. We learn more about the gyms, especially Rose. And there seems to be a relationship between maybe a girl or or just a girl had a crush. We don't know.
Yeah. Oh, all right. I can't tell you any of that stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah. Please keep watching.
More coming. All right.
Well, congrats on a new season. And what's on deck? What are the themes that you're thinking of for the new season?
I'm trying to think of how to say this without spoilers. I mean, the whole thing is a coming of age story. I really like the spot that's suddenly airing now, which is really where Steven has become an equal in the team. I think coming up, he's going to learn a lot more about what it means for the gems. Like he only knows really Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl well. He doesn't really know he knows what they mean in the context of his life, but he doesn't really know what they meant in the context of gem society. That's something he's going to learn a little bit. And I think thematically, sort of, as he's getting older and he's sort of learning more about himself, he's sort of hitting that point where he's realizing like there are sort of options as to how much you want to be, what other people expect you to be, and how to kind of forge your own identity. That's really important.
Does this guy not know I was on Star Trek?
Speaking of the fans, you have a very dedicated fan base that really closely analyzes the show. And I seem to recall at one point someone brought up the idea that I think you collaborated this. It is that each of the gems sort of represent.
No, I'm totally joking.
I thought that was very interesting. Are there any other themes that you think fans may have not noticed that you've implanted into the show?
Some people are sarcastic. They just don't have the sensory
People
apparatus to
have
pick
been
up
very
on it.
perceptive.
Yeah.
There are a lot of themes.
Especially
I think, especially now that you can sort of see how the gems used to be before Rose was gone.
not with the coffee in the mouth.
I think that's true, and they're also something that has always been true, even from the beginning, before we sort of said that this was what was going on, is that their personalities have a lot to do with how they're coping with grief. And that's a major theme, but I think that's also something that they're coming out of as the show progresses. Not out of, but it's developing for them as Steven is developing, and really becoming someone that they know better. They know him so well, but like as he's knowing himself, they're also knowing him. I think I moved away from your question, but I think yes, all those themes are there, and I'm so glad that people see them, and I hope that they see them grow also and change with the characters.
It's kind of like those Halloween. It was One Piece Space Prince, I think Marceline.
I'm just curious about your process for coming up with new ideas, right? To fit into the upcoming stories and upcoming episodes. Is it more of an organic thing where you're sort of, whenever it comes, or is it more deliberate where you just catalog ideas as you go along and then you just pick up which ones you want to incorporate in the future iterations?
Yeah, I think there's some things that are like, they're ideas I had from the very beginning where I could never quite make them work, and some of them like, I'm like, oh, I really wanted to do that, but it just sort of never happened, or it didn't quite make sense at the time, or I was getting ahead of myself. That happens a lot. So like now, I think at the stage we're at, there's some things that are like deep cut old ideas that have already been sort of subtly there, where I'm like, oh, I can finally do that story because everybody really knows Garnet, or I can finally do that story because everyone's getting to know Amethyst, and then those are happening now. So I think it might be because I have a habit of getting way ahead of myself in terms of all the stories I want to tell, that now I'm able to sort of space them out now that I get a chance to. That helps me a lot, and also just things that happen in my life, and like me, and my brother works on the show, so my relationship with Steven is perpetual. It doesn't have there's no cap on it, so it's changing, and also, you know, I feel like I've been becoming an adult, and he's been becoming an adult. By working together for us, we have just been becoming adults. I'm really writing about that also as it's happening. So I'm always inspired by that.